So, Taryn, we met from my memory now it was actually within the first 2 years of Conscious starting, actually. And I got a note from Shelley that she had a dear friend in Melbourne that was curious to have a look at sessions at that time.
Yep.
And I remember even our first session, I was literally in this car, I think just spontaneously, we'll just do it now. And it was only a voice to voice. It was literally just as simple as being a voice to voice.
Yeah.
And the changes that happened from there blew my mind. So I'm curious to see how you're doing now. So how are you?
I'm doing phenomenally well. Thanks, James. Amazing.
And good, yeah, loving it. And what was the first, this is obviously what I'm asking everybody, but what was the first piece of the exercises and or the curriculum that really landed for you, that benefited for you?
It was the first activity we ever did, James, and what you did, which you helped me. I came to you in a space of being really confused. I was cluttered. I knew I didn't want to be where I was in my current job, had some vague ideas, but I was trapped in this place of sort of safety and security and not wanting to take a risk, I think, at that point. And the first thing we did was get a piece of paper and just get all of my thinking down on paper. And what really that provided and what you gifted to me that in that session was some structure around my thinking. Because before then I was just in a mess. Like I was just going round and round and processing, and for years this had been going on. And in that 45-minute session, I think it was, all of a sudden I walked away and I'm like, right, I can see it. It's clear. I've got some structure around how to think now. So it was awesome.
Like it. And so from previous conversations that, from memory, I think you said that supported you around where you were, but then also opened up the entrepreneurial and or creative vehicle, the side hustle side of you.
Yeah.
So can you tell me more from
that? The two columns that we had that day was, one column was, this is where I currently am in my current job, and these are all of the needs it fulfills. And we looked at needs it was fulfilling, but also we looked at what values it was bringing to life, like which of my values it was bringing to life. And then on the creative side, again, looked at needs and values. And when I look back at that list, it's really interesting because some of the things that I thought were needs on the old side that I couldn't move past, I look back now and I'm like, it wasn't a need at all. It was just something I thought I should have in my life.
Right. Good clarity.
Yeah, really good clarity. So, and looking at what my more creative side of my life was going to create for me, when you compare those two, I can look back now I've got my little notebook here. I can look back now and I can see that I was just stuck in this really rigid way of thinking about what was right and wrong, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And it was just, no wonder I was bored and stale. So now I can look, and I've moved into that more creative way of living that I was desiring. And I've achieved all of it, and I live with all of it and more. So it's just being able to shift my perspective in that one session was just a huge gift.
I like it. I really do. And so taking from that position, speaking to that position, what is a recent event or business movement or whatnot that's happening for you today based on forward from sessions?
Well, pretty much from that session, I made a decision that I was going full steam ahead into wanting to coach people and work with people. And I now make a living and have a lifestyle and have a career all around helping other people think about their thinking and think about their emotions as they're showing up in the workplace. So I work as a leadership coach now, and so the one thing or event is now that has completely changed my life in every aspect. And I now make a living and have created the life that I wanted, doing exactly what you helped me with that day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very cool time. Have you got and I just thought to ask this, is there a client case now for you that is, obviously respectful to potentially contribute to this, where you've then seen one of your clients have a shift?
Oh my goodness, yes.
I just thought I'd throw it out there and just see what we might come out with.
Oh, totally. Where do we start? It's such a rewarding job, as you would know, to, catch up with your clients and see your clients changing and evolving. And I suppose there's lots of examples of that.
If you had one that blew your mind, if you had one where you went, I just did not see that one coming, that was completely different, as you were for me, and just looking at it and saying, just one of your top 3, for example, where you could look at your highlight reel, so to speak, and say just, whoa.
Do you know what? There was one the other day that blew me away. I was doing, working on values with a client. So she's an executive. She works in the retail space. And we've been working really very much on remembering her authentic self so she can show up and be the leader that she truly, authentically and confidently wants to be and knows she can be. So we were doing a values session, and it was a really interesting moment, because we'd done a values session very early on in working together, about 12 months prior. And it really blew me away, because the values that she came up with were on such a higher level. And she was just talking in a way that, her most important thing is tapping back into her most authentic self and self-love, and that she now had a clear roadmap to self-love. Whereas before it was all external and all little things like having a bath and candles and all of those sorts of things, and not really knowing, really truly being in connection with what her values truly are. They were still shoulds values.
Right.
She was really clear on what was most important to her, regardless of who else was in her life or whoever's expectations were upon her. So it's those moments, and they're just little moments. But when those moments arise, it's like, for me, that's the rewarding work that I get to show up to every day.
I love hearing that. I really do. Well, I want to say thank you for the time today. I appreciate we're both on quite tight schedules, so I'm really grateful for the time, and keep kicking goals, hey?
Yeah, thank you so much, James. Just the little amount of time that day, as I said, completely sent me in a new direction, and has just allowed me to step into my most creative and open and authentic self as well. So thank you so much.